Welcome back to another action-packed, clout-chasing installment of All Influencer Wrestling. I am your Clout Missioner, Captain Turiat Guidel, and we are getting right into it with a number one contenders match. Big Magic Reynolds will face the Golden Ticket, both victorious in their matches last week.
Is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Colorado, weighing in at 280 pounds.
Wait, what? And it looks like we are right off as things get going. Big Magic Reynolds ambushed on his way down to the ring. Golden Ticket looking like he wants any advantage he can get. Attacks Reynolds from behind. The conniving, manipulative, vicious mentality of Golden Ticket. Laying it off the side of the ramp goes Reynolds. They have not even made it to the ring as of yet. The bell hasn't rung. We haven't even started the match yet. Reynolds having his leg twisted by Golden Ticket. Absolutely disgusting behavior. And hauls him up and pile drive the neck of Reynolds, driven into that concrete on the side of the ramp. Absolutely vile scenes going on here right now. And just taunting. Reynolds is stunned. Possibly completely out cold. We are going to take a minute, get things back under control here. Enjoy a quick message while we get things sorted out. Captain Turiat Guidel, Clout Missioner of All Influencer Wrestling here, and I have a question for you. Do you like robots? Do you like space? Do you like queer romance? How about gay robots in space? Then you should read Emotional Resonance by V.M. Ayala, now available in print for the first time as part of the Best American Science Fiction and Fantasy 2024. See harpercollins.com for details. Right, we are back. We've got things under control. The competitors have got into the ring, and there we go. Bell has rung. Actual start of the match now, and Reynolds incensed by that onslaught by Golden Ticket. Gave Reynolds a moment to even get out of his entrance gear, so he is no longer tangled up in his own coat. And laying in Reynolds, only made angry with that ambush by the Golden Ticket, who is getting well and truly punched right now. Out by the side, and the onslaught continues by Reynolds, who is in full control. Go for the elbow drop. Ticket rolls out of the way, escaping back into the ring, beating the ref's count handily, and taunting Reynolds in the corner. Worked out, played possum, got Reynolds, and wrenching by the back of the neck, bouncing the head off the turnbuckle. Vicious chops across the chest of Reynolds by Golden Ticket. Choking him out down in the corner. There is no situation in which Ticket has ever played fair, but he is dialing it up to 11 tonight. Back scratch to Reynolds. Punch to the kidneys and sends him into the ropes. Up and over goes Big Magic. Ticket goes for the pinfall. Kick out at 2 with enthusiasm. Reynolds hurling at that right shoulder off the mat. Ticket going to the top rope. Flying and big splash off the top. Goes back for the pinfall again. 1. And not even hitting the 2 count this time. Reynolds getting his momentum going. And counter, Reynolds now starting to get fight back. Hoists Ticket up onto the shoulders and big power bomb by Reynolds. He's waiting for Ticket to haul himself back to the feet. What does Reynolds have in mind? Up over the shoulder, and we are going for the pile driver. Folds over. Is that going to be it for Ticket? Landed right on the neck, and I thought that was going to be it, but no. Ticket kicks out just at the instant of 3. Hoists Ticket back up to his feet and lugs him across the ring like a sack of potatoes. What does Reynolds have in mind now? Drawing the leg across the front and giant dive over the rope, crashing down onto the golden ticket, goes Reynolds. Leg drop onto the outside. We saw earlier Ticket drop the neck of Reynolds onto the concrete. Reynolds returning the favor with that pile driver. Ref's count continues on. Hurls Ticket over to the side. Reynolds needs to get this back into the ring though. Ref's count is at the 5 already, halfway done. Shoves Ticket back into the ring, joins himself. Ref's count is broken. We are safe. The match continues to roll on. Stomp to the gut of Ticket, followed by another leg drop from Reynolds. And sweep the leg by Ticket, counters. And clawing, pulling on the jaw, the nose of Reynolds. Desperation tactics by Ticket, but they have proven to be effective. And come on, ref, you're looking right at it. Turnbuckle pad removed. Flying lariat by Reynolds. Can he use Ticket's own nefarious strategy against him? We have in the top left corner of the ring that exposed turnbuckle. And Ticket starting to choke out Reynolds. This is how he punched his way into this match in the first place. Can Reynolds fight out? Pulling him away from the ropes. What does Ticket have in mind now? Punches raining down on the exposed head of Big Magic. Goes for the pinfall. Has Reynolds been stunned? Does he know where he is? He powers out 2.5. Reynolds is still in it. Pulled back up and going again for the submission is GT. He's got that locked in deep. Reynolds in the middle of the ring, but he elbow to the face of Ticket. Reynolds able to power out. Shoulder check sends Ticket down to the mat. Reynolds is feeling it. Missed that leg drop though. Ref finally turns his attention to get that turnbuckle pad back on. Reynolds into the ropes, jumps over. And scoop slam over and crashing down goes Reynolds. Pulls himself to the outside, needing to recover. Ticket though, yelling at him to get back up and check to the gut. Reynolds crashing down to the outside. Ticket onto the top rope. Maybe looking to get a little payback for that dive from Reynolds earlier. And there it is. Axe handle connects from the top. Giant boot right into the face of Reynolds onto the unforgiving outside of the ring. Rolls back in. Ref dodges out the way. Reynolds able to duck out of the way. Taking a moment to play to the crowd. Is that going to cost Reynolds, though? Gave Ticket a moment to recover. And barely able to roll through, but Ticket's got the foot by the rope. We continue rolling through. Boots to the spine. Reynolds still in control. Follows up with the leg drop. And there's that leg sweep again. Ticket going for the pinfall. Surely Reynolds has enough in him left. But no. Big Magic Reynolds falls. That early ambush paying dividends. And GT has punched his ticket to a Sold Clout Championship opportunity. Awaiting him is Gabriel Van Hessel, the Vatican Witch Hunter. That will be our main event now next week. We know what it'll be. Can Van Hessel hold on, or will Golden Ticket claim the Sold Clout Championship? Not the mood we hoped to kick tonight's show off with, but we will be back in just a moment. We have another number one contenders match awaiting. We saw 3 in action victorious last week. Now the team fights each other. Merry, Ashapal, and Battlestar Galactica. A triple threat match to determine Pressery D's contender will be up next after these short messages. We'll be right back. Captain Turiant Guidel, Clout Missioner of All Influencer Wrestling here, and I have a question for you. Do you like robots? Do you like space? Do you like queer romance? How about gay robots in space? Then you should read Emotional Resonance by V.M. Ayala, now available in print for the first time as part of the Best American Science Fiction and Fantasy 2024. See harpercollins.com for details. But tiny. Operating at the nexus of science, engineering, artificial intelligence, art, fashion and design. Hi, I'm Captain Turiant Guidel, most dashingly handsome pirate in all of Lumsalaminsa, and the Clout Missioner of All Influencer Wrestling. As a swashbuckling pirate, I know a thing or two about hats. And sometimes, even I feel the hats I own are just too big. So when I feel the need for minuscule millinery, there's only one place that comes to mind. tinyhatlabs.com. Tiny Hat Labs have always sought to push the boundaries of what's possible in client engagement millinery feedback solutions. Their guiding question remains the same today as it was when they were founded. What if small hat, but tiny? Operating at the nexus of science, engineering, artificial intelligence, art, fashion and design, Tiny Hat Labs seeks to pave the way to a paradigm shift in headpiece technology. While others ask, how much? tinyhatlabs.com asks, how little? I'm Captain Turiant Guidel, and tinyhatlabs.com is my favourite place for hats on the internet. Welcome back. Let's lift the mood with this triple threat encounter.
The following contest is a triple threat full count anywhere match. Making her way to the ring from parts unknown, the Warrior
As was just announced there, this triple threat under Falls Count Anywhere rules. Pinfall or submission does not have to happen in the ring. All three competitors will need their heads on an absolute swivel during this match. Ashapal's friends and allies, Avric and Tiff, failing to capture the Double Cloud Championships last week from RBFS. Asha looking to bring gold back to the heart. But Mary and Battlestar both also with their eyes on that clout. If there is anyone on the roster capable of tanking the onslaught from Asha and Mary, it is Battlestar. Able to take the punishment, will she be able though to dish out enough in return to put one of her opponents away? Pressry D, you know, is watching this match with a great interest. Far more diminutive than any of these three in the ring tonight. She will be watching, planning the Hunter's attack to how to take down whoever her challenger winds up being. And two in the ring as the most magical of the competitors makes her way down.
And from New York, the Animal Princess!
We have a warrior, a Valkyrie, and a druid in the ring. Expecting to see a much more clean contest this time around. All three competitors familiar with each other, at the very least friendly with each other. But when it comes to clout chasing, there are no friends. It does not matter how fond each may be of their two opponents, they are merely stepping stones in the pursuit of clout. Those dangerous antlers of Mary on full display. Asha and Mary locking up in the middle of the ring. Val gets in the middle. And an early team up by Val and Asha, and that did not last long. Big boots to the face of Asha. We're going to see that a lot in this match, I feel. Momentary team ups followed by immediate ending of any temporarily alliance. And Mary with the abdominal stretch. There's Val immediately breaking it up. You have to be careful, especially when it comes to submission maneuvers in a match like this. My God, look at the strength of Asha on display. Up and down, and there's Battlestar waiting for her turn. And over the ropes, it's Asha standing tall right now. Remember, this match can end at any place in the arena. Falls count anywhere. And Mary taking advantage of the no DQ aspect to it, hoying a chair, tried to call her over the ring entirely. Unfortunately, not quite enough heft in it. Clattered into the ring post, did not make contact with Asha. And Battlestar, now the one in control, sends Mary back into the ring. And now Asha's the one with the chair and goes flying out the top, crashing down onto Battlestar. Absolutely nothing between these three competitors in this match thus far. Boot by Mary. Asha does not go down. Almost sent Mary hurtling into the ref there, and Mary going back under the ring. It's kendo stick time. Cracks over the skulls and absolutely explodes the kendo stick on the skull of Ashapal. Is this going to be it already? No, Val dug down deep, kicks out at the one. Early days as of yet. Asha, desperate to get in the middle of that, finally makes her way in, regrets it, gets hurled into the ring post there. Mary back into the ring. Val tackles down Asha. What does Mary have in mind now? Asha now the one going for a weapon. She's got the baseball bat out. And right into the spine of Battlestar, rolls through. Val tanking those like a beast. Tried to get that boot in on Asha as she goes flying. Mary took advantage. We have seen this from Mary time and time again. An absolute master of ring awareness. Asha, though, no slouch either in that regard. Up over the shoulders, and Mary wriggles free. And dodges the flying elbow. Hoys Val up over the shoulders. Uppies for Battlestar. Followed by a crash down to earth. Ducks the attack there by Mary. Asha now very much in control. Grabs by the antlers and a punch right to the forehead. Ducks through though. Quick kick to the back of the shin. And Mary now the one back in control temporarily. But contest of strength. Asha is going to win that handily. And this is going to be bad for Mary. And powerbomb the ring. But there is Battlestar with the kendo stick. Mary back to her feet already, though. And right there to break up that pinfall. Good opportunity from Battlestar, but I don't think she did as much damage to Mary as she thought. And the athleticism of Asha on display. Taken down Mary, and there's Val grabbing the hair. Down to the mat goes Asha, hold it back up. And crashing down once again, but there's Mary waiting, biding her time, sends Val into the ropes. Mary now the only one standing tall. Asha stunned on the outside. This is Mary's opportunity, but the ref was checking on Asha, didn't see it. I think that was a pretty clear visual 3 by Mary there, but the ref was too far on the other side of the arena and did not make it in time. So technically Val kicked out before even the 1, and up goes and almost cracked Mary's head open on the steel steps there. And again, ref too far out. Asha now waiting for Val to get back to their feet. Waited a little too long. Val in control, sends Asha back into the ring. Mary, I think, having a few words with the ref. Clearly, and one would maybe argue justifiably, feels she should have had this match won. Now Val the one in control. Tripping, though, over the prone bodies of her opponents. Mary taking a breather in the corner, draping foot by Val. Mary able to pull back out. Breaks up the pinfall handle. And up and slam down goes Battlestar. Asha back to the feet. And DDT by Mary sends Asha down. Val's roll to the outside. Is this the opportunity for Mary? No, there's a Battlestar again. You cannot keep a tank main down like that. Val able to make it back in. Breaks up at 2. Side slam by Battlestar now, and Mary immediately rolls through. No pinfall even attempted there. Mary now sprawled out on the outside. This is the best opportunity Battlestar has had but she needs to do that little more damage to Asha to take advantage of it. Unfortunately for Battlestar, Mary back to the feet already. Scoop Slam sends Asha down, but Mary is back in the mix once more. Tried to go for the top rope maneuver. Mary having absolutely none of it. And down goes Mary, and Val there ready to capitalize. Kendo stick back in the hands of Battlestar, thinks better of it, realizes Asha's stunned on the outside. Is this going to be it? And not enough. Mary still up. Perhaps needed to lay in that little more offense with the kendo stick, but then Asha likely would have had the time to recover. Strategy solid by Battlestar. Unfortunately, I don't think there was any way that was going to follow through in her favor. Though Mary now the one back and rolls out the way, does Asha. Blocks the kendo stick. And abdominal stretch locked in. Is Mary going to tap? Not if Val has anything to do with it. Breaks up the submission. Running clothesline sends Asha crashing down. Mary back on the outside. Val in control again, but has she done enough? This time does go back for the kendo stick. Cracks over the shoulders of Asha. There it is, exploding. Rolls through though. Battlestar into the corner. Look behind you, Asha. Mary is there. She has ready. Over the shoulders. And Mary able to wriggle free. Asha looking for the pedigree, sends Battlestar crashing down, but Mary is standing right there, will not be able to pull that into a win. It looks like that took a lot out of Asha's liver, and hand trip pulled out. The Druid using the fire. We got a fire bolt by Mary, digs deep, but Asha able to survive. And Battlestar has another kendo stick. Shoulder checked by Asha. And bounces Battlestar off the corner. Mary is waiting there. And cutter by Mary. Countered by Val. And elbow strike by Mary, lighting up Battlestar again. Mary currently in control, but as we've seen throughout this whole match, that can change on the edge of a gill. Asha working over the shoulder now of Mary. Another kendo stick cracks over the antlers, but there's Battlestar. Look at the splinters covering the ring right now. Battlestar going up top. Mary is stunned. Frog splash by Battlestar. Missed. Asha tried to go with Mary in the corner. Mary rolls through. Counter after counter after counter. None of these three giving an inch. But is this finally going to be it? Can Mary recover in time? Doesn't need to. Battlestar tanking their way through once again. The resilience on display is mind-blowing. Mary going once again. Another kendo stick. And cracks right into the kidneys of Asha. Val is stunned. Explodes over the head. This is it. This has to be it. Val in the middle of the ring. Asha brutalized on the outside, and somehow Battlestar dig deep and kicks out once again. The tenacity, the resilience of Battlestar. Mary going for the pinball. Asha has recovered. Mary has to be wondering now, what does she have to do to keep Battlestar down? Asha, meanwhile, deciding Mary is the less resilient link, hits the pedigree, and that is it. That is your match. What a match. What a contest. Asha stands tall at the end. All three leaving everything in the ring. Blood, sweat, tears, and no shortage of destroyed kendo sticks. Usher exhausted, draping over the ropes there, but she now has a date with destiny. Ashapal will be meeting Presri D for the Soul Clout Championship next week. You have to imagine somewhere still licking their wounds, Avric and Tiff beyond proud of their childhood friend. What a match, what an encounter. We are going to take a few minutes to clear all the splinters out of the ring canvas, and we will be right back with some one-on-one action after these quick messages.
Luz tried everything to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. Hammers, axes, magic, saws, more magic, fire, even more magic, and magic explosions. Still, the door refused her. Why? After all this time and effort, why wouldn't the damn thing open? Sure, it was an enchanted door that would open the path to a potentially catastrophic amount of magic pouring back into the universe, causing endless natural disasters that would drown or bury most cities from existence. But there was an equally high chance that wouldn't happen, and that the magic had been sealed away by ignorant fools for nothing. She had to believe there was a reason why she could tap into a sliver of the magic locked behind the door. That this was it, her singular life purpose. Open the door, restore its magic back to everyone like it used to be in the stories, where anyone could use magic, for good or bad. That had to be it, right? That had to be why she was standing here, in the door's pocket dimension, on a small plot of Earth, large enough for only one person to stand in front of it, swearing at this void-black door with iridescent veins flowing along its surface like water, living, taunting her to just open it already. So why was it so hard to swing the damn thing wide? Somehow, she had shoved the door apart just a crack ages ago. A thin, wispy line of light seeped out of a seam down the centre. Whenever she used teleportation magic, as she had decided to call it since she didn't know the correct term and hadn't seen others use it before, probably because it was dangerous and required sliding through space and time, but who was counting? She tapped into a sliver of warmth and power to travel wherever she wished. She'd managed that slight opening unthinking as a child, then never again. What was she doing wrong now? Worse, what if she wasn't doing anything wrong? What if this door wasn't meant to open for her after all? What else could there be for her but this? After everything, after all that searching, what else could there be?
This has been an extract from The Void Door by V.M. Ayala. To read the full story, please visit beneath-ceaseless-skies.com and search for issue 378. And thank you for watching Masterpiece Theatre.
Welcome back as we recover from that contest. It's time to debut some new clout chasers. With our time off, we had some new applicants to chase that clout, and here is one of them. meet Hawkeye, a towering powerhouse, looking like a superhero, or will he turn out to be a villain? We'll see just how his time in All Influencer Wrestling works out. The attitude with which he is striding to the ring certainly seems to indicate he will be a problem for the rest of the roster. Looking to make an impression in this, his debut match. But he is not the only one. Meet the West Brothers.
And his opponent, representing the Trailblazers from Transylvania, Romania, weighing in at 400 pounds, the Tank, Taylor West.
Accompanied by his brother Victor West, the towering form of Taylor West. You may have some questions about this duo. I certainly do as well. Not the first time we've had some clearly interesting history for a couple of clout chasers, but no longer are the Dominguez sisters the only siblings in All Influencer Wrestling. Watching his brother on from the outside, we have a lockup in the middle of the ring. Hawkeye had no idea what to expect out here. I doubt anyone else did, and DDT to West. Working over the ankle is Taylor West. Stitched together, glowing green. Clearly some interesting history here. We will find out more about these two, I am sure, as time goes on. Elbow drop down to Hawkeye, perhaps a little knocked off his game. Wasn't sure what to experience out here, and grabs the leg though. Hawkeye back in control now. And rolls through. Taylor West now on top. Those heavy elbows driving into the face of Hawkeye. Ankle lock. And Victor cheering his brother on from the outside, giving encouragement, giving direction. And hoisted up and planted. Down goes Hawkeye. I don't think that's how he wanted to take flight here tonight. And shoulder check over though, uses the momentum of Taylor West against him. Hawkeye now back in control, tried to go for a bit of a test of strength there. I think that may have been a very poor choice. Though in control now, Hawkeye driving the shoulders of Taylor down into the mat. Putting the boot in, he's got to keep the larger man grounded. Hawkeye, of course, not a small competitor by his own measure by any means. pulls West back to the feet and sends him into the corner. Taking his time, moving slowly, and tries to get Taylor up. I think the legs gave out there, simply too heavy. The bulky, reanimated form of Taylor West falls through, but Hawkeye able to kick out at 2. And showing Hawkeye how it is done. Look at the strength on display by West. And now going up to the top rope. This is not looking good for Hawkeye. Splash from the top, crashing down all the weight of West. And things are looking like they're going south for Hawkeye very quickly. Planted down into the mat, and West is not done. Following the instructions of Victor on the outside, went for the boot though. Hawkeye able to counter, elbow strike to the face. Hawkeye fighting his way back into it, grabs the face. And just a vice grip. Can he keep the momentum going though? Tries to get West into the corner, gives up, ties him up into the ring, and he's got West trapped. Are we going to see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and an elbow to the back of the head, laying in. He's got Taylor West knocked for 6, but not for 3. Kicks out only at 2. Into the corner goes West, running knee. Strike to the back, and there we go. This time he gets Taylor up onto the shoulders, and damn backdrop by Hawkeye. He thinks that's not enough. He's got Taylor back to his feet once again. Into the ropes, and big boot over the ropes goes West. Hawkeye in control now. And an exchange of chops on the outside. Taylor leading back into the corner. Hawkeye having absolutely none of it. Working over the face, trying to rip parts of the stitched together form of Taylor West back off. Onto the leg. Is that going to do it? And that indeed did. Knock something loose in the head there of Taylor West, I think. Hawkeye puts him away and wins his first match. Standing proud in the middle of the ring. What a debut by Hawkeye. The West siblings, though. Impressive showing. We have yet to see what Victor West can do. We will keep an eye on all 3 of these clout chasers going forward. Of that, you can be bloody certain. We have yet more matches to go tonight, though. And up next, there's a bit of a score to settle. We'll see you right back here after these short messages. Suplex the train! Himbo power! Come on. Pop more potions. Meteor strike! Oh, I can't suplex it. Oh, yeah, that's right. I can suplex a train, but I can't suplex an octopus. And here is our octopus friendo. Can I suplex an octopus? Nope. Can't suplex an octopus, turns out. Too slippery. Can I
my suplex ultima weapon. So we're going to start chucking some shuriken. I can suplex ultima weapon. Come on, we're so close. Lift, come on, Sabin. Come on. Suplex! Boom! Hippo power!
Captain Turiant Guidel, Cloud Commissioner of All Influencer Wrestling here, and I have a question for you. Do you like robots? Do you like space? Do you like queer romance? How about gay robots in space? Then you should read Emotional Resonance by VM Ayala, now available in print for the first time as part of the Best American Science Fiction and Fantasy 2024. See harpercollins.com for details. More one-on-one action as we return to Cloud Chasers. We saw in action last week. They wanted another shot at each other.
For one thumb, making her way to the ring from Sin City, Banshee!
We saw Banshee score 2 eliminations in the gauntlet match last week. Fell short herself, but looking for another shot at redemption. Banshee, of course, made it all the way to the final 2 in that match, taken out at the final hurdle by the fair-weather friend Paris O'Shell, who we will be seeing in our main event, facing off with the towering Jenna Astorio. And looking for a little payback, a little redemption of her own.
And from Baltimore, Maryland, the relentless Olivia Mason!
New look, new attitude, new presentation. We saw a little of it last week for Olivia Mason. This time, pulling the spotlight purely onto her. Mason has the star power. She has the Kahorka. Will she be able to convert that into results in the ring? Taking up a decent amount of our show's pyro budget. But just look at Olivia. I'm not going to argue with her, are you? Fear not, I have taken the money for the pyro out of what I would usually have been paying Mac. I just paid her in chocolate coins. She didn't know the difference. drinking in the sound of the crowd. Lest you forget, of course, it was Banshee who eliminated Olivia from that gauntlet match, costing her a shot at the $1 Shillion Championship. Olivia looking to get some payback. Banshee rising to the challenge, and up over the shoulder she goes and dropped down. Banshee retaliates, back in control, never mind. Mason counters, and look at that spin kick right to the side of the head of Banshee. And amazing athleticism by Mason. We didn't see this last week. Look at the air she got on that. But there's those dangerous heels of Banshee being put to effect. Boots to the face of Mason. Rolls out, but that just gives Banshee the opportunity to go up to the top. And again, the missile drop kick driving those stiletto heels right into the face of Olivia Mason. And drives down to the ringside. Banshee very much in control, and she wants Olivia to know it. And driving that spiked heel right into the back of Olivia's head. Boots to the arm, Olivia in serious trouble and crashes into the ring post. Refs count reaching 5. What does Banshee have in mind here? Boots to the gut, and again driving the heel into the back of the head. Banshee is very much in control, and she wants Olivia to know it. Rolls back into the ring, beating the ref's count. We are back in. And just the disrespect being shown by Banshee to Olivia right here is inexcusable. But you can't deny she is backing it up. Counter there by Olivia. Kick of her own to the head of Banshee. Can she capitalize? Nope. Banshee rolls through. Another back heel, though. Counters again, does Mason. She is trying to fight her way back into this. Spin kick by Banshee. Up and snap suplex. Over she goes. Sends Mason down. Again, countering Olivia Mason, fighting back from underneath, but she needs to get some momentum going. That'll do it. And trying to shut Banshee down, not even a 1 count, but I think at least that's going to give Olivia a moment to recenter, to refocus, and forces Banshee to expend some of that energy with that kick out. Off the rope, flying, Mason bouncing around, saying she's still got a lot left in the tank. Banshee crawling to her feet as Mason stalks her prey. Gets Banshee up onto the top rope. And Bulldog off the top, crashing down to the mat, trying to take advantage of the fact that Banshee is a quick striker, but does not necessarily have the resilience that Mason does. Hooks the arms up and slam down to the mat. Mason making up for lost time. A match of 2 halves we very much have here, although Banshee reverses into a suplex of her own. Olivia counters, sends Banshee in, and Banshee, though, able to see that coming, knocks the dropkick away. Chop caught by Mason, returned with one of her own, and again, begging Banshee, come on. What have you got? An exchange of strikes. Banshee with the counter. These two just tearing strips off of one another. I don't know whether Banshee was stunned or able to dodge, but missed there by Mason. And Banshee now rolls through, and another quick strike to the side of the head. What does she have in mind right now? Top once again. and stiletto spike, the scream of the Banshee ringing in Olivia's ears, but kicks out at only a 1. Banshee waiting. I think Banshee has something vicious in mind, and punt, kick, and slams Mason down with a quick kick for good measure on the way. A little close to the ropes though with that landing. I don't think quite in position where Banshee wanted. And what does she have in mind here? Roundhouse kick straight to the head. I think Mason's lights may be completely out. Never mind. Somehow kicks out with the leg, she didn't necessarily get the shoulder up. That was a lot of power coming in from the lower body, but enough. And Banshee now looking for the figure 4. She's got it locked in. And there's the bridge, the pressure on Mason. She has taken so much and able, though, to wriggle free. Banshee now working over those legs once again. Goes for the pinfall once more. Is Mason going to be able to dig deep and find it? I don't think so. Olivia Mason falls. Banshee stands tall, able to put... Oh, and what have we here? The woman who got a visual pinfall on Banshee during the gauntlet match. Lucette, by all counts, should have eliminated Banshee. The ref busy with a different pinfall, and it looks like Lucette is not going to be letting that one slide. We clearly have more to come between these two in future weeks, but that is for the further future. We have an immediate future match to come. A returning clout chaser not able to make it out here in time for last week. Renace Crimson returns to the ring up next.
Captain Tyrant Guidel, Clout Missioner of All Implementor Wrestling here, and I have a question for you. Do you like robots? Do you like space? Do you like queer romance? How about gay robots in space? Then you should read Emotional Resonance by VMIR, now available in print for the first time as part of the Best American Science Fiction and Fantasy 2024. See HarperCollins.com for
example of my sense of direction. I don't know what is. You're the new farmer. I see. No offense, but you look like you've never held a tool in your life. Excuse me, Jim. I am well adept at holding my tool. Thank you very much.
The Whole Guardian, not me.
The God Emperor made me do it!
The God Emperor made me do it. Yes. Oh, can I get away with yelling that in real life, please?
Once again, we are back for more clout chasing action. And another who wants another shot at the clout after last week.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall, making his way to the ring from Edinburgh, Scotland, weighing in at 158 pounds, Abel!
We saw him last week in the ladder match for the Intercontinental Championship. Fell short. It was Cinneas Doom who claimed that one. But back to some of the AIW originals. Stephen Joyce facing off against a returning Renace Crimson. Don your tiny hats, brew your cups of tea. Stephen is here and looking to get a little momentum back after that ladder match. But looking to re-establish himself in a new coast, a new arena.
And his opponent from London, England, weighing in at 270 pounds,
The red glow of Renee's Crimson, a daunting figure as he marches down to the ring, eyes locked on Stephen. These two have fought alongside each other in the past, on the same team in our first ever War Games match in All Influencer Wrestling. They have not faced each other in the ring very often, if at all. An interesting match of styles. How will Stephen face against the significantly larger Reynolds? Welcoming himself back, eyeing the crowd. Ren is ready to go, as is Stephen, and locking up in the middle. It looks like it's Ren that gets the better of the initial exchange. Stephen, though, with a quick back elbow, and it rolls through and immediately looks to crossface in. The height of Renee's playing a powerful move there, able to get in with the rope link, and a DDT from Stephen. A lot of offense coming in from Stephen in the initial stages of this bout. Pause there to take stock, boots to the gut, a missile dropkick to the side of their head. Stephen very much in control from the outset here. Tried to go for the flying elbow, Ren using his size advantage against him. Simply bats Stephen away and dropkick of his own. Shocking athleticism from a man of Crimson's size. And hoists Stephen up, and putter by Ren. And up goes Stephen, and back down. Rolls to the outside, using the ropes to haul himself back up. Ren's got the legs, and out goes Stephen, crashing down back first onto the canvas. Rolls through, though, able to counter. Working over the legs of Renee's. Smart strategy here by Stephen. When against a larger opponent, you've got to take away the center of gravity. And going back once again, continuing to work over, going for the ankle of Crimson now. Twisting, getting as much torque as he can. Waiting, quick blow to the shoulders and lighting up Crimson's chest with chops, and sends him back down. Stephen continuing the momentum going through. And what does he have in mind here? Pushes the ref out the way, and shotgun dropkick by Stephen, crashing the back of Crimson into the turnbuckle there. As Stephen goes up all the way to the top, and coup de grace, crashes down with all his weight onto the chest of Renee's, but gets the shoulder up, powers out at 2.5. And a boot, turning Stephen absolutely inside out, though he's able to counter that spinning back elbow. Ties Ren up in the ropes. Choking him out. Stephen putting in an impressive display. Ren draped over the middle rope. Clearly been studying his opponent, keeping things up, not letting Ren get momentum going. Once Ren gets that head of steam up, it is very, very difficult to stop. And back up onto the top rope. I think Steven thought Ren was going to be following him on that, but actually dazed him a little too much. Drives Crimson down to the mat. Boot to the gut, really driving it in, twisting the stomach of Crimson, hauls him back up to his feet. Can he keep this momentum going? Sends Crimson into the ropes. An arm drag takedown, overthrew. Has he disoriented him enough? And he has. Stephen Joyce puts away Renace Crimson. Facing each other. Goes for the handshake. And look at that show of sportsmanship. Ren raising Stephen's hand. We love to see it. Valorous in defeat, gracious in victory. A solid output for Stephen Joyce, nothing to be ashamed of by Renace. We'll see where each of these two proceed to in future. But next up we have one of our two main feature attractions, Tag Action. Up next, one of the two teams who are about to meet will face Andy Ginger for the Double Clout Championships next week. Let's find out who it's going to be right after this.
You ready for this?
Let's go! Captain Turient Guidel, Clout Missioner of All Influencer Wrestling here, and I have a question for you. Do you like robots? Do you like space? Do you like queer romance? How about gay robots in space? Then you should read Emotional Resonance by VM Ayala, now available in print for the first time as part of the Best American Science Fiction and Fantasy 2024. See harpercollins.com for details.
We are sure to be in for a very hard-hitting match up now.
The following contest is a tag match set for one fall. On the way to the ring,
The Dominguez sisters have been rebranding, reworking, hitting the gym, hitting the stylist, especially in the case of Teresa. They have, in homage to a legendary tag team of the past, taken the name of Harlem Heat. Callie and Teresa looking to get another shot at the team they have thus far been unable to dethrone of Candied Ginger. And facing across the ring is a team who have been a thorn in their side.
and their opponents, the Authority!
Amber Warren, Victoria Holland, a domineering force, now going by the name of the Authority, previously known as the Circle. They have taken on a new name to match the attitude they bring to the ring. They are here to destroy any opponent with authority. No muss, no fuss. In the past, the showboating tendencies of the Dominguez sisters has been their undoing. Will that be the case once again, or have they found fresh focus in our time away? Trying to go for a show of strength against Victoria. It's not going to work out, so diving attack, that's going to be much more effective. You've got to get that extra power going and tag out. It is Teresa Dominguez, now legal. Quick tags by Harlem Heat. Victoria, though, had it, and backdrop down, not working out well. Turns her attention, to Callie, though, able to counter. And Teresa, neckbreaker from her, sends Victoria down to the mat. Counters the Irish whip. And sends Teresa down off the top. And look at the speed with which Holland came off that rope, but didn't land, I think, where she expected to. Teresa gets the boots to the head. I think maybe considered going for the tag to Callie, but the body of Holland in the way. Elbow counter by Victoria, and down goes Teresa, and tag Amber Warren, now legal. And diving through, Callie, now the legal competitor for Harlem Heat. And again, Fez press takes Warren down. Stalking around. Amateur wrestling experience of Callie showing through. Been working the fundamentals, I believe, in our time off with her trainer, Chen Harper. The woman who got Callie into the industry, much to the consternation of her sister Teresa. And it goes for the pinfall, but there is Victoria, able to break it up before the ref's hand even strikes the canvas for one. Neckbreaker, down goes Warren. Pulled up, and we are seeing that focus I said they needed. Harlem Heat absolutely in control of this match thus far. The Authority looking anything but thus far. And there's the tag once again. Teresa now legal. And lined up, quick kick strikes by Harlem Heat. An elbow drop, followed by elbow drop off the top rope. Look at the synchronicity of these two. They came in with a strategy, but that DDT by Warren may have completely derailed it. Strike to the back. Teresa trapped between both members of the Authority. She may be in trouble if she can't get the momentum of this match back on her side. Elbow strike counter will do that. Kick to the gut. Wrenches the arm round through, and DDT. Down goes Warren. And going. And there it is. The showboating of Teresa. She could have gone for the tag for Callie, but played to the crowd, and that gave Warren the time to hit the tag. And a fresh Victoria Holland in the ring. Side slam off the top. Missed the leg drop though. Both of them down, hauling painfully back to their feet. It's Victoria first back up, and look at that quick strike. Teresa was getting the better of that. Amber saw it and put a stop to it. Drapes the leg of Victoria over the rope. Quick strikes to the face. Splits, and there is the spinning punch. Is this going to do it? No. That is not going to keep a behemoth like Victoria Holland down. Over the ropes. And boots to the face of Holland. Knocks her back off her feet once again. Hauls it back up. Stunned. Can Teresa take advantage? Countered. Whipped into the corner by Victoria. And vicious headbutt. And almost saying, watch what I am about to do to your sister. Callie, helpless to watch on. As Annihilator. Down goes Warren, and Callie could have just kicked to that, but going for the showboating for a flashy kick out. And hoists up over the shoulders, bounces the face of Teresa off the top turnbuckle. Victoria rolls to the outside, thinks better of it, back in. And back out she goes again. I think kind of trying to keep Callie confused. Once again, back up, Teresa rolls back to her feet. I'm not sure what strategy Victoria's trying to go for here. Possibly just knocked for a loop. A bit of a miscalculation there perhaps by Holland. Or maybe not. Knocked Amber down to the side with Teresa, but that gave Amber a chance to drive a fist to the gut of Teresa without her able to really counter it. And here is the strategy of the Authority. Teresa working over Callie whilst Amber takes advantage of Teresa on the outside. They have divided. Will they conquer? And this is going to be bad for Teresa. Pile driver by Victoria Holland. Callie down on the outside, but we are not done yet. Actually, I spoke too soon. It looks like Callie is back in position. And driving Teresa over into the corner. Knocks Callie down to the outside. And back up by the waist. And suplex. She has not let go. And 2, 1 more. That is 3. No amigos in this ring, though. Only enemies. Somehow Teresa able to counter the momentum and finally thinks better of it and makes the tag. Callie back into the ring once again. And there's that Fez press raining the blows down onto Victoria. She's been in the ring for a while. The fatigue for Holland has to be starting to count up. Back into the corner. What does Callie have in mind? Bouncing off the mid rope, rolls through. Waiting and again taunting, baiting almost Holland to get back up, but she doesn't. She takes the opportunity to give that tag to the much fresher Amber Warren. Release suplex from her. Able to kick out though. Warren not able to put Callie away. Back into the Authority's corner, elbow strike to counter. And both had the same idea there, I think. Impressive athleticism, but utterly useless by both. This is not Cirque du Soleil. This is Cirque du Clout. Drops over the knee, still holds on. And goes for a second. Warren going for the pinfall once again. Shoulder up at only a 1. Goes for the tag, trying to keep this team fresh. Can Callie make it over? And arrogance shown by the Authority now. Let Callie go for that tag to Teresa. Clearly Victoria wanting her hands back on the older sister. Is that going to be a mistake that costs the Authority though? What does Teresa have in mind? She's got Victoria perched. And Hurricanrana off the top, crashing down, using gravity in her favour. Is that going to do it? Warren thought maybe, but no. Holland able to kick out. And going for the tag, Callie legal now, whilst Victoria recovering on the outside. Remember, the winner of this match will be facing Candied Ginger for the Double Clout Championships next week. Candied Ginger, nobody has had the answer for until now. And hoisted back up between both members of the Authority and slammed down. And bouncing off the ropes there, that crunch of the bones. Teresa saving her sibling, but Amber still in control. Elbow strike, Callie able to fight through. Is it going to be enough? Sends Amber into her own team's corner. Not going for the tag, working over the arm, trying to take away some of that powerful upper offense. And goes to the mid rope. What does Callie have in mind here? Swinging DDT. Down goes Amber. Goes back up to top. What does she have in mind now? And are we going to see flying elbow off the top? Amber's in trouble. And Victoria's there to make the save. Callie not taking a breather, looking to... just forgot where she was there, I think. Not entirely certain what happened to Callie with that. Allowed Amber a moment to recover. I think Callie saw something in the crowd that got her attention. No idea what that was, but that moment of distraction has been potentially devastating for Harlem Heat. Across the knee of Victoria goes Callie up to the top rope. This is going to be bad. Splash off the top. And somehow dug deep, powered through. We'll be checking the tapes later to see what that was that got Callie's attention. But for right now, flying through modified Thez press whilst Victoria was stuck in the corner and going for a needed tag. It is Teresa now legal. Ref got in the way there a little bit. Lighting her and kick down goes Teresa. Victoria standing tall once again. Hold up. Is this going to do it? Teresa's in trouble, isolated in the Authority's corner. And that same strategy once again seemingly knocks Amber off to the floor, but that just put Amber in position to get a quick strike into the guts of Teresa, and we saw this work out. This is exactly what the Authority did earlier. Didn't pay dividends for them before. Will it work this time? Splash takes out Callie. Teresa legal. And Victoria put Teresa away. She turns her attention back to Callie. Will that mistake cost them? I think wanting to damage the younger sister in front of Teresa only incensed Dominguez. Sends Victoria into their corner and hauls through to the outside. And winds up and dives through the canvas over the rope there into a swinging DDT. What athleticism from Teresa right there. Absolutely cleared the ring right through the corner to where Victoria could not see her coming, but takes a moment to play to the crowd once again. Off the mid rope, splash across, touching her own ribs. I think that did quite a bit of damage to Teresa as well, but will it be enough to keep Victoria down? Ties her up and suplex over. Takes a minute to get back up. Teresa's feeling it as well. Hoists up to the top though. What does she have in mind? Sent on and gets down, but she's given enough time for Amber to be allowed to come in and break the pinfall up once again. Teresa incensed as Amber is chased out of the ring. Harlem Heat needs to keep this momentum going. They cannot allow Victoria to tag out, but that's exactly what they just let happen. Rolls through. Amber immediately down. Teresa keeping it going. Impressive showing from her. And down goes Warren. Running elbow keeps Warren down once again. grabbing the hair and disrespectful strikes to the face. There's no technique here anymore from Teresa, just doing an absolute mugging on Warren, and tag in Cali legal now. Kick to the gut, is this going to do it? Knees to the back. Ref trying to get in position to see the shoulders. 1, 2. Kicks out. Victoria a little late on the save, but doesn't matter. Amber able to get out at the 2 count. They got to keep this going though. Tag Teresa legal again. They are in that same situation. Victoria now will not be allowed to come in and break up the next pinfall attempt as long as they don't let the authority tag out. And what does Amber have in mind here? Drop kick to the head of Teresa. And Amber Warren now taking a moment to milk this. Posing, flexing. They are very impressive back muscles. But that's just given Teresa time to get back to her feet. Back into the corner though. No tag made, working over that left arm of Dominguez. And counter, Amber maybe should have taken the opportunity to tag whilst she had it. And back up to the mid-rope once again. What does she have in mind here? Swinging through, suplex over. Hoists Warren back to her feet once again. And back into the corner. And sends her back out. I think we're going to see this once again. It worked out last time. She's going to make that dive through the corner once again. And a big swinging DDT. It sends Amber crashing down to the outside. Heads back in, allowing Cali the opportunity to get a little bit of offense in. Rolls Warren back in where Teresa is waiting. What does she have in mind? Waiting for Warren to get back up, and gave it a little too long, I think. Warren able to roll through. Counter. Into the corner goes Teresa. Repositioned and gets the legs up in time. Back into Harlem Heat's corner goes Amber Warren. Just shoves to the chest, but there is Warren firing up, able to counter. And she's got the sleeper locked in. There's Cali fighting to save her sibling and gave enough of a relief of pressure to get those side strikes in from Teresa. And good night, go to sleep. Hits on Amber. Victoria not able to break it up. Is it going to do it? And that has finally put an end to it. Saved from the sleeper by her younger sister, Teresa. Able to instead make it so Amber Warren is the one who is staring up at the lights. And with that, we know who it will be. Harlem Heat versus Candied Ginger for the Soul Clout Championships next time. But speaking of championships, we got one more for tonight. She earned the shot last week in that gauntlet match, but has she bitten off more than she can chew? Paris O'Shell challenges for the $1 Shillion Championship against Jennifer Astoria. We'll see how this goes for her after these short messages.
Hi, I'm Captain Turiant Guidel, most dashingly handsome pirate in all of Limsa and the Clout Missioner of all Influencer Wrestling. As a swashbuckling pirate, I know a thing or two about hats. And sometimes, even I feel the hats I own are just too big. So when I feel the need for minuscule millinery, there's only one place that comes to mind. TinyHatLabs.com. Tiny Hat Labs have always sought to push the boundaries of what's possible in client engagement millinery feedback solutions. Their guiding question remains the same today as it was when they were founded. What if small hat, but tiny? Operating at the nexus of science, engineering, artificial intelligence, art, fashion and design, Tiny Hat Labs seeks to pave the way to a paradigm shift in headpiece technology. While others ask, how much? TinyHatLabs.com asks, how little? I'm Captain Tyrion Guidel, and TinyHatLabs.com is my favourite place for hats on the internet.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the Internet Championship!
The $1 Shillion Championship is on the line. Biggest opportunity to date, and what have we here? It appears that Paris O'Shell has brought herself a little insurance. All business is Laurie Bishop. We've seen this in the past from her. It looks like Paris hired some security. That has to even the odds for the Fairweather friend. Throwing some funding around. What role will Bishop play in the outcome of this match now? But will that be enough? And there she is, our Shillionaire, Jennifer Astorio. She has held that belt longer than anyone. Finally reclaiming it from Aria Nightvalley not that long ago. She is looking to maintain her hold, her dominance. Will we be able to see an upset from O'Shell, or will she be the latest victim to the powerhouse that is Astorio?
Introducing the challenger from New York.
There she is. All confidence, knowing who she has in her corner.
From parts unknown, the Internet Champion, Chen.
Astorio, the picture of confidence, holding her title aloft. You have to wonder, will Astorio, though, run the risk of underestimating Paris? A newer clout chaser, she's not had an opportunity like this as of yet, and we saw in that gauntlet match how opportunistic O'Shell can be. Latching on from the outside there is her enforcer, Laurie. Quick elbow strike sends Astorio down. And elbows to the gut, though. Astorio easily able to power through. And at this point, almost toying with Paris. The ease at which Astorio is manhandling her opponent. Elbow strikes to the back. And taking a moment, slowing things down, wrenching the neck of Paris. Slow, steady, and methodical, and just hauled up by the face. The height of Jeneth, meaning we got some serious airtime there for O'Shell. And boots to the back of their head. Bishop watching on, trying to encourage her client to keep going, perhaps trying to be a bit of a distraction for Jeneth, who is going up top. We don't often see this from her, and flying elbow crashing down. I think tweaked the knee a little bit there, though. And wrenching onto the neck. This is just a cat toying with a mouse at this point. We're able to wriggle through, though, and sends Astorio down. Paris able to get a little bit of offense, and not with a kick like that. Jeneth easily able to counter. This is why she is the Shillionaire. Waiting, lets Paris get back to her feet, and just choked out, double hand choke slam. Paris comes crashing down to the mat. 1, 2, and that is that. Thank you for coming, Paris O'Shell. A quick trip back to the showers. Astorio showing why she is the $1 million champion. The Enforcer taking no role in that. Didn't really have an opportunity to do so either. A dominant, overpowering performance by Astorio. You have to question who is going to be capable of claiming that title from her. We'll see how that unfolds in the coming weeks. But for right now, that is the end of the clout chase for tonight. No title changing hands this time, but next will the Vatican's witch hunter Gabriel Van Hessel fall to the golden ticket, and will Harlem Heat prove to have more spice than candied ginger? We will find out next time. And of course, we also will find out whether Presri D can hold on to her Soul Clout title against Asha. All that and more next time. We'll see you then. I've been Captain Tyrion Guidel, but for now, as always, remember to stay #out for clout.